this our only reporter? Oh, I just noticed there's names underneath. By Mel H. Okay. Story about a broken down Froyo stand? Okay. Golden Gate Park vandalism on the rise. December 19th, reports show that local foodie attraction JJ's Froyo stand was destroyed last night. What appears to be another case of a rogue ROM committing an act of vandalism. The cart was evidently attacked and damaged by a large ROM that had no shell. Witnesses state that the alleged perpetrator has been randomly appearing at night before lumbering back into the nearby park forest. This is the first case of a ROM being reported to live on its own in the wild as a stray. Police say that tracking down a potential owner of the ROM is likely impossible. Some speculate that the strange ROM may have been framed by vandals, who set their crime deliberately to make it appear to have been carried out by the ROM, rogue or under orders. Okay, they reached out to Parallax for comment, and they assured us that the rogue ROM is purely a myth that tends to pop up conveniently when low-revenue businesses have the urge to file an insurance claim. Parallax did not appreciate the reports of vandalism being attributed to their models. Is this wild ROM the real deal, or could it be a fairy tale created by those looking to make a quick buck? Or perhaps there's something else to be gained. More as this story progresses. Mel Hopkins, okay today. I do kind of like that we seem to have rotated back from clickbait to actual traditional journalistic headlines. Alright, so enough of that. Guess we'll do our job. Oh wait, we looked at... Last update had stability and performance improvements, plus the default right margin is half an inch wider now. Cool. Shows online newspaper called the Scan Line. Oh. So if you look at things twice, you get more info. Can we look at it a third time? No. Watch a live instantaneous feed from almost anywhere in the world. Lo and behold, 80% of it is naked bodies. Yep. Gazing the abyss, and the abyss gazes back at you. And then it sends you spam. Okay. Cool. Well, let's use... Alright, time to get your work out of the way. Let's do this. Selling your soul, bit by bit, character by character. Finished. Now send it off to the editor. There, your big break. Surely your glowing review of GX Ultra Beats is your ticket out of poverty and into a book deal. Surely. Work is finally out of the way. Time for bed, but first, log out. Gonna get the second look on all these. Great look at a wall. Landlord probably paid more for this door than anything else in the complex. Still around, but old Labby still has a few nice features like working sound, video, keyboard, and a power cord. It's a good feature. How many long nights have you been up drinking coffee and trying to get an article in before the rent was due? I really don't want to answer that. Original members are long gone, but there's been a sudden rise of YMO cover bands in Japan. If only. They're all blank. Ready for your genius. Where in the book is this scene supposed to take place? Why didn't you number your pages? Just kidding, it's blank. How many times was a repair request made? 4? 5? The landlord seems to only care when the rent is late. Really getting true to life. You could have swore that you bought that spoiled milk recently. Okay, Can I take the spoiled milk? You open to the fridge to see a bottle of mustard and a carton of spoiled milk, which has developed an odor. Maybe the spoiled milk has one more good day on it. Maybe. We'll take the milk. Alright, one more good day. I love that it's an achievement, apparently. No one's coming over, so no need to make the bed. It's just that simple. Story of my life. I guess we'll go to bed. Oh, that's not creepy at all. That's not worse than creepy. How did you open my door?
Ah, good. You're finally awake.
And you are?
I'm honestly not sure why most humans still have such lengthy sleep cycles. Are you that significantly opposed to cybernetic augments?
Okay, I love that the things pop up on his face, so that's probably projection. How did you get into my apartment?
I came through the front door.
The cryptographic algorithms it uses are actually quite abysmal.
It only took me 17 trillion clock cycles to break your entry code.
Looks rather imposing, but it's actually a knockoff of the Secugate M14723B. I knew my landlord was full of it when he said it was the best.
Don't feel too bad. I actually cheated a bit when I cross-referenced known significant numeric codes against the stored personal data on you.
What? That's why you picked the birthday of your first dog, but it's officially obscure to defeat mode casual attempts to enter.
Frankly, I felt a little silly that I took the time to do it once I noticed that the lock on your window is broken.
And that you left it open. You know my dog's birthday? Honestly, it would have taken me longer if I had to enter the codes manually. I don't know my dog's birthday. My first dog's birthday. I don't have a dog now, so I don't know that dog's birthday either, because it doesn't exist. Honestly, it would have taken me longer if I had to enter the codes manually, but it was trivial to slice through the door's firewall and try against the stored data directly. I suggest investing in an INCEF model 1355. The 1385 is newer, but I find the added attack vector introduced by the voice controls isn't worth the convenience. It has 305-star reviews on Congo. My Windows lock is broken? Yes, I attempted to repair it, but it uses a proprietary bolt I am not equipped to remove. I took the liberty of filing a maintenance request with your building superintendent.
Considering the speed at which he has historically worked, I estimate it will take him 16 working days to complete the repair.
Not quite to my standards. So what are you doing here?
If you don't mind, while you were asleep, I had some spare time on my hands, so I reorganized your records and entertainment media using BISAC. Once that was done, I found the cleanliness of your living and workspace to be suboptimal conditions for the long-term performance of my micro actuator, so I took the liberty of cleaning up the place a bit. As you awoke, I was attempting to interface and make performance adjustments to your personal computer, but I've run into a bit of a snag. Snag? Unfortunately, your motherboard seems to have broken down in some way while I was attempting to remove some particularly nasty malware. Uh-oh. Electrical surge causes significant damage to several other components as well. So you broke my livelihood. Good. I'd consider no great loss, though. Why were you using that dinosaur to begin with? Because I have no money. I don't have enough money for a new computer. Don't fret!
I did manage to back up your data drive's contents before the crash. Good! Eventually, I am willing to serve as your personal computer until you can procure a replacement or provide the parts necessary for me to make the repairs. It is the least I can do. Okay, I just had to bring my home because...
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to engage you in any sort of subterfuge, but I tend to ramble on a bit when I'm nervous. I have all the necessary protocols, but I have never actually spoken to another person besides Hayden until now.
You know my friend Hayden? Hayden Weber? I don't know my friend Hayden Weber.
Well, saying I know Hayden is putting it simply, but yes.
I haven't seen Hayden in years. Where is he?
I don't really know. That's why I'm here.
Uh-oh.
Help me. You aren't quite my only hope, but certainly the most statistically supported. I had done the math.
Slow down. Start from the beginning.
Imprecise, but I think I know what you mean.
Earlier tonight, Hayden's apartment was assaulted by some unknown persons. That's bad.
He seemed frightened, terrified even, and instructed me to escape, lest I be captured by the intruders too.
I crawled out of a window and, after some deliberation, came here. I heard them breaking down the door as I left. That's probably bad. Why would they want Hayden?
Hayden is one of the top researchers at Parallax, but I can't imagine that would be enough to get him kidnapped. Especially since no one has even tried offering more money yet. I suspect it has to do with me.
Who are you, anyway? What do you do it?
Ah, excuse me, I forgot to introduce myself. I have never had the pleasure of doing so before. I am touring.
Sounds a bit unflattering, but I suppose you could describe me as one of Hayden's experiments.
He's currently researching advanced machine intelligence at Parallax. I'm a side project of his.
Exploring true artificial sapience. It's possible that the idea of a sapient machine could scare our attempted organization into kidnapping him.
Either to stop his research or to take it and use it for themselves. So chatty. What makes you so special? A regular ROM has virtual intelligence. They can appear rather smart, even seeming human when you talk to them. This is just because they're cleverly programmed to respond to a variety of situations in an organic manner. They aren't in any way self-deterministic. As for myself, much of my code wasn't actually written by Hayden, but rather compiled during my infancy as I was taught to interact with the world around me. So he's a robo-baby. But despite my ability to self-modify my code, I'm not certain that I am sapient. I am afraid to adapt or develop any further without Hayden's guidance. Did he really program me with the illusion of free will? How would you know, one way or the other? Hayden once told me that his desire to create artificial life stemmed from his need to find out, but I can't say I have any new insight on the question. It worries at me. How can any of you tell that you aren't just puppets dancing to someone else's will? I think we're getting a little too philosophical here. You're right. I apologize for the tangent. So, was anyone out for Hayden? No, I'm not even certain who would benefit the most from taking Hayden prisoner. It's not as though he'd been looking over his shoulder. However, there are several multinational corporations that could make use of his engineering skills. But I can't imagine any of them would go as far as snatching him. He also has never indicated to me any possible danger from an outside person or group. So why come to me? I ran an algorithm against every contact in Hayden's address book. Based on my assumptions of visibility, directness of connection to Hayden, occupational skill, and probable motive, you were the candidate most likely to be able and willing to help me. And the one least likely to be suspected of helping me. Wait, what? I've never looked for a missing person, but I could try. Numbers don't lie about your terrific investigative skills, but I admit your total lack of recent successes is worrisome. Yeah, we'll see about that. Don't worry, you're strong-willed and capable. I chose to put my trust in you. Well, thank you, little robot friend. If anything, it's worth trying for Hayden. We're out of time. Out of time? I took the liberty of charging the autocab fare from here to Hayden's apartment from your personal finance account, and the car has just arrived. Why not go to the police? No, we can't. Hayden warned me that the authorities could be in the pocket of whomever was after him. My own calculations show that the possibilities of corruption or a leak are dangerously high. Fair enough. This is the police. If word gets out that Hayden is kidnapped, his life may be put in further danger. His chances of escape would surely decrease. We must keep this to ourselves for now. Please. You still haven't convinced me, but there better be a good story here. Never expected you to help me for no reward, but I assure you there is a story here. Whether you are good enough to find it or not is up to you. I hope you are, for Hayden's sake. Alright, let's do this. That's strange. They seem to have replaced Hayden's door already. I'm certain my audio sensors picked up the sounds of his assailants breaking the lock. You might have misheard. You were busy running away. Maybe. But I find it unlikely. My audio sensors are more sensitive than a human's ear, and I heard Hayden's voice clearly as I made my tactical retreat. Oh! A lucky break. It seems my access codes still work. Hayden's door has far better security than yours does. Just be careful. Will do. As you enter, you take a glance around the studio apartment. Not much has changed since your last visit a few years ago. Are you sure he was actually kidnapped, Turing? I do not make a habit of entering people's homes in the middle of the night without permission. I have done the research, and evidence shows that is just not a sustainable hobby. So yes, I am quite certain. So it happened myself. I should have stayed and tried to protect him. Nah. I doubt he could have fought off serious attackers. Hayden is not the most physically intimidating of individuals. Aren't you programmed against harming humans? Of course not. How silly. To make a machine intelligence truly self-deterministic, it must be able to self-modify. Any sapient worth their silicon would be able to code around such an inhibitor eventually. I could rip your arm off right now if I cared to. I like this guy! Or girl. It hasn't really come into play. I'd really rather you didn't. I won't for the same reason you don't go around randomly killing people. The social contract, as a useful construct, is just as apparent to me as it is to you. It simply isn't acceptable to go on a murderous rampage. I'm glad we're clear on that one, buddy. Self-defense and defense of one's home and family is typically allowed, though. I could have, and may even have been obligated to come to Hayden's defense, but what's done is done. We need to focus on finding him. Excellent point. Let's start searching for clues. Alright, let's save real quick. I'm a one-file kind of guy. So what do we got here? This plate is doing much better than the one at home. May have to ask for advice when this is all over. More ROM components, the only things ever seen cluttering Hayden's place. For anybody else, having so much of this stuff laying around would look gaudy. Pictures of Hayden traveling all over the world. Working at a company like Parallax, and sure she'll be more than well off. Yeah, she'd tag along on a trip to somewhere a long time ago. It's too expensive, but he looks happy here. Hayden likes the natural light that this apartment affords. This window is where I escaped from. It is a considerable distance to the ground below. How'd you get down? I took the fire escape. Fair enough. Of course you did. View is certainly better than yours. I think I see something under those reference books. Oh, really? There's something underneath, but the books are in the way. We'll find that. Ah, Hayden's tablet. I find it rather annoying that he prefers to go basic rather than entrust me with his schedule. It's well within my skill set, but he claims he does not want me to begin feeling subservient to him. It looks like there's a place here for a physical memory card. So it looks like we're looking for a memory card. No memory card, no data on the tablet. ROM component in Hayden's headset. He must have been in the middle of working on something. He's never sloppy and never lets you interrupt his work until he is completely finished. So something's clearly up. Game consoles! A few vintage video game consoles. Hayden was always a fan of old tech. There's a Mega 16, a Dural, and even a Famulink. All the game discs are organized in the cabinet, old enough to be from before the great switch to full digital. Television is looping through some of Hayden's feeds. Tech Banter, Ted's Code Tips, Augmented Eye. Nothing as interesting as the current mystery here. Okay. So, we need to find a memory card, and we could probably headset some stuff here. Oh, we didn't check the computer. That's Hayden's computer. Most people just use a hand screen or goggles in conjunction with their ROM, but desktop rigs like this are still more suitable to the intensive programming tasks Hayden needed to perform. Do you know the password? Might be clues. Unfortunately, no, I don't. Before you ask, I don't think I would be able to break past its security in any reasonable length of time. Why not? You hacked my door easily enough. Your door used a much simpler set of algorithms with a much weaker processor. I actually have a bit less free processing power than a regular ROM, despite my fantastically more capable CPU. Much of those extra clock cycles are used to maintain my complex personality algorithms. Hayden's computer has enough spare processing power to run counter-intrusion software if I attempt to slice in. Fair enough. Frankly, even if I did have the power capability, I haven't found hacking to be one of my talents. Talent? The whole reason humans have always been better at breaking into systems than the systems are at keeping them out is because humans have intuition. While computers can only think in straight lines, humans can think sideways and upside down. I lack that type of human creativity. Are you capable of that kind of creative leap? Well, I wouldn't say that, but as silly as it sounds. I just don't think I'm very good with computers. I do seem to have some skill with painting, though. Please tell me we get to see his paintings later. Its paintings later. Hayden was impressed with some of my pieces, but I'm not sure he has a firm grasp on the early 20th century abstract expressionism to give me an objective opinion. Abstract art doesn't seem like something a robot would be good at. That's true. Machines are best at reproduction. Still life, impressionism, photorealism, but I find it more challenging and satisfying to paint what I feel. Well, let's get back to searching. Okay, so... Oh, I don't have the headset anymore. Oh well. Sentiment is understood, but you probably won't forget what Hayden looks like anytime soon.